All right, how to be a car designer in 2024. It's definitely not easy. It was not easy last year. It was not easy 10 years ago. It was never easy, I guess, because it's a very specific job that only a couple of us are lucky enough to do it professionally. So you know that there's a big competition, there's amazing people doing amazing job, and you compete with them, do your portfolio and apply for studios to even be visible and to get a chance to even have an interview. But in this video, I don't want to focus on this negative part, how tough it is, how difficult and so on. I want to talk a bit more about the solutions. All right, so the first problem is the competition. You see online on Instagram, Behance, Pinterest, wherever you go, you see amazing job done by amazing students, amazing professional designers, and you always feel the pressure and you always compete with them. You see multiple amazing ideas in a day, so you kind of feel lost, I can imagine. The solution to this problem, in my opinion, is after researching, after seeing all these amazing projects, you need to sit and think yourself what kind of future you would like to live in. What kind of cars you would like to drive? What kind of passion you have for cars? Not like because of this student, that type of project, and he or she got a lot of likes on Instagram, on Behance or whatever. Focus on what's coming inside of you, what's coming from you. What is your emotions? What is your passion about car design? Seriously, what type of car you want to sit in? Maybe you don't want to drive it. Maybe it will be autonomous. Or what kind of car you want to drive. But of course, it doesn't mean go back to if you are old-time car lover, don't think my favorite car is from 1993 Porsche 911, so I want to live in this future. It's not future, it's in the past. You know what I mean? Just focus on the visionary ideas, which is also coming from you. Combine them with maybe the inspirations you got from online. But sometimes shut off all this other noises from online and really just take a blank sheet of paper and think about your next project in a clear head, clear mind, and give it a little bit of time to mature it. Then it can be your next project idea. It's not that bad to see a lot of amazing projects. It can really inspire you a lot as well. So this is the solution for feeling lost in between all this amazing stuff. But the second problem coming from this first problem is the competition itself. There are really good people, amazing, talented, hardworking people applying for the same job as you. And the solution for that is simple. Just really you need to work hard. I mean, work hard is not enough. You need to be obsessed with car design. All the successful car designers I know are obsessed with this. They don't do it for a hobby or on the free time project. It's like an obsession. They live and breathe car design. I remember when I was a student, every day, it's not even a question to not work on car design a single day. I was sketching every day, checking all the videos every day. I mean, on that time, when I was a student, it was easier because it was limited amount of videos and online inspiration, let's say, and only a couple of books existed. So I was consuming everything I can. Today it's a little bit different. You cannot consume everything. I don't believe in that because it's tons of stuff. But still, you need to be obsessed and at least be aware of what's coming. What people are talking about, what kind of car design projects are happening, what kind of cars are coming to production also. You need to talk about car design. You need to carry a sketchbook with you. You need to always have a pen with you. You need to always chase ideas, take notes about them, visual notes. I mean, not only words, but of course a quick sketch, quick doodle. Save the designs you like, not just scroll and say goodbye oh, I saw this design and it's nice and goodbye. No, just save it somewhere. Try to be a bit more organized and analyze these things. I mean, maybe you feel bad when you see another student made an amazing sketch and you see it and you feel bad. But rather than feeling bad and down, analyze this sketch, study this sketch, try to copy it yourself to learn some techniques or get some inspiration. So the solution is you really need to be obsessed with car design. If you are not, if you think it's just something to try only, you can try, but I think it's very difficult to get a job without putting 100% of yourself into it. All right, the next problem I want to talk about is the tools themselves. There are tons of tools, right? When I got my first job at detail design, I remember different generations have different tools. I don't know how to say it in English in a kindest way, but the older designers, let's say, who are close to get retired, they were using mostly pen and paper. They didn't even know how to use Photoshop. Not all of them, but some of them really didn't even know how to use Photoshop. So the tool was, I think back in time, clay modeling, pen, paper sketching, marker sketching, and that was the tool set. Then the next generation, there was people who use only Photoshop and sketching. There was no 3D knowledge on these people. And from my generation, what I expected was using 3D, Photoshop, and sketching. And by 3D, I mean it was alias. They told me, you need to learn alias, you need to do alias. And I did that when I was a student. I learned alias very well. However, at work, I never touched alias. Then I switched to Blender because I realized that there is no time at work to do alias. That's why there are alias modelers to do professional modeling. So as a designer, you can only use sketching still and Photoshop and give it to alias modeler. So I thought and I saw that something else is needed and I figured out that it's Blender. But anyway, I don't want to get into too much of details of my story. I want to tell you about the tools, the amount of tools you have now. Like Alias, Blender, Photoshop, Sketchbook, pen sketching, marker sketching, gravity sketch, plasticity. And there are AI tools like Viscom, Midjourney, Dolly, Stable Diffusion, and there are tons of things to learn, like tons of things you see online. There's even for Blender itself, they're always like, there's a new add-on for this, there's a new thing to learn like this, there's a new version of some software. There are a lot of things to learn and it's not easy, I understand that. And honestly, you cannot learn them all. Because if you focus learning them all, you will not have time to make a project. You will not focus on the design anymore. You will not talk about the cars and the car design. You will start talking about only the softwares and the techniques and so on. And that's not a designer is. These are just tools to help. The main goal is always finding a nice idea, setting a vision, and showing it to other people in the best possible way. So I think in today's world, you really need to be more decision maker in all this stuff. You need to be able, like with AI, with Viscom, you can generate a lot of different images. With quick sketches, you can generate nice renders out of it, but you cannot show 100 different designs on a design feedback every day. Or if you're working as a freelancer, you cannot show your clients 200 different design proposals and ask them to select a couple of them. It doesn't work like that. You need to first filter them yourself. And as you filter the designs, you should also filter which tools you need to learn. And in my opinion, and that's what I did personally, is stick to a couple of tools. First, of course, test them, but then when you find a comfortable tool that you think it will be useful for car design, stick to them and learn them very well. Instead of learning everything a little bit, stick to fewer tools, but know them well. In my case, it's always like sketching. Sketching is the first thing, right? It's still the most relaxed way to find an idea and generate the first concepts and in the quickest way. And the next thing, Photoshop I use. There's also people using iPads, Procreate or Sketchbook, but to me it's Photoshop because I learned it and I got used to it and I think it's very flexible, so I'm using it. So one tool for analog is the pen sketching, not even pen, pencil, marker, pastels and everything. I just like pens and paper. If you ask me today, one for each category. For analog, pen and paper. For digital, I use Photoshop. For 3D modeling, I use Blender. I started using Blender around 5 years ago when I was working at Ital Design, and it was not that popular. Today, like most of the car design studios, I mean, I don't know all the car design studios, of course, but I see it online a lot. I know car designers, many of them, and they tell me the same thing. I mean, Polestar purchased my Blender course, as I mentioned before. So, okay, I just have to mention it in this video because if you want to learn Blender 3D, I have my own online courses for beginners levels and also for intermediate and advanced levels. You can find both courses on my website, berkaplan.com. It's the tool of my choice, and I think it's still getting more and more popular. So for 3D, I say Blender. All right, the next category for the tools is AI, artificial intelligence tools. They are getting also very popular. Like just last year, I think people were very against it. There were big discussions and still it's going on, but there are some AI tools like the Viscom. This video is not sponsored by Viscom, but I love using them. They sponsored some of my other videos and I use it myself. It is the AI tool that I would choose because I know that they also work with car design studios officially. And it is, I think, still ethical AI tool that you put your own sketch and you get results around your own ideas. I like that. So my tool set right now is including pen and paper, Photoshop, Blender, and Viscom AI. So I think it covers all the categories because in 3D, Blender covers also the modeling itself, rendering, animation, like all the stuff, all the 3D related stuff I think are enough as a one software blender. So these are my choices. For you, you need to decide yourself. I cannot know what will happen in 5 years. Maybe all these tools will be irrelevant anymore, or maybe they all will be still the strongest tools for car design. I cannot know that. So you need to check yourself. You need to analyze which direction you want to go, and then stick to these tools and master them, learn them very well. And this way you can show your ideas with these tools. Again, the tools are just tools. Important thing is your ideas, your vision. So you can use a couple of tools in a very good way to show your ideas, to make an amazing portfolio, which will lead to a job interview, maybe an internship. And then during the internship, you can show yourself how passionate you are, and you can show your ideas to get a job finally. So really, it's a little bit stressful topic if you can be a car designer in 2024, but it's also exciting because there are still a lot of options and it is still possible. You can still be a car designer. It's not like done. Hey guys, we are out of limits. There's no more. I see a lot of car design opportunities. Like even today I saw on Instagram, like new car designers are needed, junior designers, senior designers, exterior designers, interior designers, 3D modelers. It's still needed and it's still growing. There's always this circulation also. So you just need to be ready. You need to be obsessed. You need to work hard. You need to learn your tools, and you need to set a clear vision for your projects. Don't try to do everything in a single project. If you have an idea, make one project about it. Later, if you have another idea, make another project. Don't try to put everything together and don't create a chaos. Make a clear message, make a strong portfolio, and that's how you can be a car designer in 2024, in my opinion. If you decide to use the same tools as me, I can help you to improve yourself. You can check out my online courses on my website. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe for more car design content. And I wish you have a great new year. Stick to your goals, push hard, and believe in yourself. See you in the next video.